Oh, welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, we now need to do a plot 3 tour in June 2024, and we'll go straight into the fruit cage. Wood chips are doing great, make it nice and easy to get around. Blueberries are doing a lot better now since I've put them in the pots, and I'm remembering to water them. We've cleaned out all the summer growth that I personally didn't want. It doesn't mean to say it's what you should do. Just opens the fruit up a little bit, gives it a chance to ripen. It's not quite ready, give it a few more minutes. But anybody who's entered the soft fruit harvest, how much I actually harvest, that is now closed. Oh my god, Nick the gardener. Shocking. But the ladybirds have saved my life on my allotment on plot 3. We'll show you shortly. People get worried about this. Oh, don't worry, doesn't hurt me. Oh my goodness, come on, keep it up. Lots of babies. Keep those black fly away. I don't weigh myself, and as I've said before, on plot 1 I don't tolerate any abuse from the people who have taken a guess. Excuse me. But I'll be picking these every day. Gooseberries are still quite firm. No more saw fly damage since I give my wife's bush a good shake and a trim. If you shake your gooseberry bushes, the caterpillars fall off and they can't get back up. So that's what I do. It seems to work. This is a blueberry that's still in the ground, and that's produced more fruit this time, possibly because of all the rain we've had. This is all off one fruit stem, whatever you want to call it. It's matured over the last 8 years. So this is the board that I've filled in so far. Not up to date. The competition has closed. By the time you see this video, not yet, due to the filming on the Saturday. But the names will be there, and all the fruit that we do harvest. Jerusalem artichokes grown in the open ground, but in this square foot gardening bed we should get some nice flowers on that. I've got to try and salvage some more of the lettuce off here before we clear it and bring some more lettuce in. The asparagus just started to flower. The wildlife will love that, and then the berries will fall everywhere and the birds will eat them, and you end up with baby asparagus everywhere. You little rogues. Some of my brassicas, the Brussels, some of that. Nice big labels so you can read them, because I can't pronounce. It needs covering. There's the poor old Iron Man. They haven't got to the broccoli, but they're having a lovely nibble on the leaves, and of course sitting there pooping away all over my florets. Sweet corn and beetroot need a good weed. I've got an empty bed. Well, that was until Mrs. Cake came home from hospital. and the success story. My broad beans were absolutely covered in black fly. And then you get some mommy and daddy ladybirds making some little baby ladybirds like you've just seen. And they feast. This is one look that I haven't taken the top out, so I shan't be stir frying that. But overall, where we've taken the tops out and removed some of the full stems that got absolutely covered, I'm going to get a harvest. There's another ladybird there running up that pole in the middle. Another baby one. But I don't want to take too much away because those babies need feeding, so we have to share, unfortunately. Greyhound cabbage. I haven't watered these, done nothing, but when I made this bed up from all the compost, etc., you can see the difference once you get down to certain areas, but it's easily weeded. Volunteer tomatoes, they just pull out. Oh, it isn't a potato, but no dig gardening. It's nice and easy, even if the weeds do get a little bit big. But like I say, there is priorities. Poor germination on the Gladiator resulted in me popping some Tender and True in. I didn't do a proper jobby here, but I think that's one. There's a few more in the middle of the screen there. So again, we might be short of parsnips this year, even though I've done 2 containers. Never mind. Let's blame the weather. There's some pigeon damage there. Nature always finds a way. Look at it, it's growing away again. Bill and Val's pongo beans, all at different stages. Growing well. All the pods on Nick the Gardener's snow peas are on the other side. I have had a little tasty nibble at one of the pods. The alliums here, the opria and the walking onions have absolutely been battered by whatever has been attacking them, but nature always finds a way, and the walking onions will always produce, so I'll be saving some of those. Condor giant potato, not doing as well as I thought, but I still haven't had a fertile to remove any small potatoes to leave one big one to grow on. Every time I pop up, I'll just make sure that we've only got one growing up. But I've missed this one, so I've just got to gently unravel. Bring him round the other side. Those are the cobra. Then we've got the giant long beans there, and some random lettuce that we just chucked in. It's growing well. Got more lettuce than I need, but it's better to have too much than not enough. What we've been growing in these has been really clean, slug free and dirt free from all this rain splashing all over them. I need to get into the chard, strip all those big leaves out. I do like the small ones. I woke up last night thinking, I haven't watered the fruit cuttings, soft fruit cuttings. I need to do that before I leave today. This is my 3-year-old, 4-year-old wood chip bay, homemade compost that we made last year, January, February time. This is the compost that we find with the perlite in and the cocoa coir that's unscrupulously dumped by the cannabis growers. The Hendrick snow peas. They just started to form now. A later sowing of the spring onions, and I've got 2 courgettes here. There is one under here. I'm going to have to pick those up. Radishes and peas over there that we can't see. More radishes, successional sown. Again, plenty of lettuce, all nice and clean. Hopefully, I haven't took any pickings off those at the moment. Again, that was the second sowing of carrots. And then as we run along, you can see we've done a nice successional sowing in and around the Cape gooseberries. And here's the performer. I just grew the chits off these. And my poor garlic, again in a future video we'll see what we get. That's the red Russian, and this is the elephant garlic. Giant celery there, some more peas they need to support, another successional sowing of radish, a bed there for some lettuce or whatever. Those are some of the lettuce that I've took 2 harvests off. Still growing, and I need to harvest some of the spring onions. And these are the Tumbling Tom yellow. Now, where we normally take the side shoots out on these, we don't. I've just been taking the side shoots out from out of the back so that it tumbles this way, he says, hopefully. Just done a project at home, just took down the homemade store. I built it out of the old decking, so I used decking boards and some of the Correx sheets to keep it reasonably dry. So I've cut those up now, so I've got an abundance of plant labels. Potatoes that we didn't harvest in 2023, we've let them grow on. Long roots are doing good outside. That beetroot there looks a little bit dodgy, and we've got the radish growing there, so I can start thinning those out when I get a chance. And there's the other water timer that keeps these nice and wet. This celery I've called Babette, who's in the garden, told me to make sure I put it in some water so the long roots drip out into here. So that's sat in there. We'll see how that does or how it doesn't do. The silver skin onions not doing as well as last year. The birds are having a field day because it's been so wet. They keep scratching through for the worms. Nodig, keep pulling them out. Surplus tomatoes in this bed. Some Alicante, some yellow mini, and Shirley, not growing as well as the ones indoors as you'd expect. There should be some peas here, but it looks like these have also been hammered by the pigeons. They took every top off. But there's some nice radishes in here now. Where's my finger? Point at me finger. Need to take these before they get too woody. So into the polytunnel. These coffee grounds, I didn't dry them properly and they've gone a little bit mouldy. Still be okay for the compost bin, etc. Still haven't planted my celery. That's all I got from one packet, about 3,000 seeds. But everything's looking good in here, other than tying them in and taking out the side shoots. This is certainly working well with the Spider Farmer cloth bags. Putting them on trays just helps retain some of the moisture. Managed to water these. Don't have to water them too regularly. You can always tell when tomatoes want water when the leaves just start to curl up or just drop down. Don't want to overwater them. And the long roots in here with my little bottle irrigation doing well too. And there's a couple of tomatoes there that I can replace And if I get chance, I will plant the turnips, and there's my giant radish and a sweet corn. I shall plant that, no doubt. The wet weather has certainly taken its toll. Wood's absolutely fine if it can dry out, but the winter has been absolutely awful, and it's only just been a couple of days since we had rain and everything's drying out. These need thinning now, and I do need to sow a few more. But if it doesn't get done, it doesn't matter. You can see where the old carrots were. Look, they're rotting away and the soil's falling in. And I'm probably going to leave that to go to seed to see whether you can actually get sweet candle carrots to grow true. As long as it grows into a carrot, I'm not fussed. If you've liked the content or disliked the content, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down for the interaction. Please leave me a comment on anything you wish, and why not consider subscribing. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.